Well, I'm Don Azevedo. This is my wife, Janice. We've been married 39 years. We've been with the church for 22 years. Our children were there up through high school. It has been a lovely place for us to feel part of the community and to grow in our own faith.
Well, I'm coming up to my 6th anniversary. I came in November of 2016 to serve as senior pastor here at Christ the King Lutheran Church. The church found itself at a kind of a crossroads. They had experienced 10 years of decline. There had been some conflict. One of the first tasks that I had to face was to kind of rebuild the staff. We now have 17 staff people. And I have to tell you, we have the best staff that we could ever have hoped for. Without staff, right, the volunteers who do the actual work can't really function. That's why I think that staffing in a larger congregation like ours is really a number one priority, and that's what I've spent a lot of time with to build the staff that we now have.
You know, there are a lot of volunteers at CTK, but it's the staff that is the skeleton. And it's getting more and more expensive in this area to live. Because if you're worried about those things, you can't do your best work.
Now we need to make sure that we get to keep it. But you need to pay your people well, you need to treat your people well. We live in an area where the cost of living is very high. So we've been able to respond to that. And I'd really hope that with the new budget that's coming in, we'll be able to continue to do that. I remember in February and March of 2020, we were at a point where things were really beginning to cook. Worship attendance was increasing, giving was increasing. We were out there in the community more and more. And it just felt like 2020 was going to be the year when everything was just going to take off, right? And then boom, right? Overnight, the pandemic happened. I mean, we didn't miss a beat. The very next Sunday, we were online, and over the next couple years, we invested quite a bit of money. We got much better with technology. We trained lots of volunteers to help us with that, and so we've been online ever since, and we are not going to stop. We are now a hybrid church.
I grew up Lutheran. I go to the contemporary worship and love the music. Whether I'm worshiping here in my living room remotely or whether I go in person, the music is, I think, the part that keeps me going.
Since the whole remodeling, contemporary music has been stepping up its equipment so that it can create a better sound. We got in-ear monitors, and a new keyboard, all of which have been an amazing deal. And it really was a gift from God.
In all of this, I think the staff was really pivotal. They helped us to make that switch that was kind of forced on us overnight. And we didn't miss a beat. We continued to receive new members. Giving went up, not down. We are one of probably very few churches who came out of the pandemic, if it really is over, stronger than we were when we went in.
We've talked about moving for several years. With the housing market being what it is now, we made a lot of money on the house. We kind of got the dust settled a little bit. We were like, okay, we need to do something with this abundance. And that's where both of us pretty much on the same day, we just kind of came to each other and we were like, we need to find a way that this can do work at church.
There is a number of very important initiatives in this new budget, things that we are not doing now that we can only do if we see the increase that we are asking for. One, of course, is continued advancement in technology. We really need an audio room so we can mix the audio better. The second thing I'm really excited about is we are working with 7 other churches in a joint marketing campaign to let people know that we are here.
That we're becoming much more diverse in our congregation. All are welcome, and we really mean that.
That inclusivity is important to me. And then social justice, the idea that we go beyond the church walls.
We have some of the best programming in town. For example, our Vacation Bible School is already excellent. We are going to work hard next summer, to make that more of a community outreach program so that it's not just for our families, but for new families out of the community, out of the neighborhood who might need this. Part of becoming a hybrid church, we really need to up our game when it comes to things like Zoom meetings, right? We all love those. We are in need of a room that's kind of like the Zoom room. Church council meetings, ministry board meetings, committee meetings, and even bigger meetings like our annual congregational meeting is always going to be hybrid because we now do have members who are not local.
My parents always gave to church. I think we've been able to take it a step further.
There is more that we can do, and we just don't know that we could do more. And we have to support the people who help us make that happen.
I am proud of this church for doing God's work with our hands in a way that really strengthens the community and that helps people live out their faith in daily life. For all the saints.
For all the saints.
For all the saints.